Well, the Sunday Times photographer Paul Conroy recently returned from Syria. He was working with the Sunday Times reporter Marie Colvin when she was killed alongside the French journalist Remy Olschleg in Homs. Paul Conroy and several others were wounded, and he joins us on the line now. Paul, when Valerie Amos describes the situation there as complete devastation, you've had first-hand experience. Is this an understatement?
Absolutely. I think what she's seeing is in fact the sanitized version. When we were in Homs, it was a scene I'd never seen before. I've covered many, many wars. Devastation is an understatement. The regime have had time now over the last 5 days to cover their tracks in many senses. I have no reason to doubt that the slaughter will continue out of the public eye. This regime knows no limits, has no boundaries. Unless the international community acts now, presses, pushes with everything we've got, I fear we won't be seeing an end to these. These will become familiar scenes, as we saw in Bosnia many years ago. We all know the result of that. It's essential, critical, that the pressure is kept on the regime and they're not allowed to hide, destroy evidence, and to continue this ferocious attack on the Syrian people.
Paul, are you able to be in touch with any of the activists who helped you? Do you know what the conditions are like right now?
The situation with regard to contact to the activists has deteriorated rapidly. We at times we had a steady supply of information. That information is drying up daily. It's more and more difficult. I assume this is because the troops are now on the ground, going house to house. Conditions when I was there were almost unworkable. Myself and Marie faced snipers, artillery attacks every day just to get snippets. I fear now that it's almost unworkable, hence the drying up of information.
And Paul, when you hear about the US Defense Secretary saying that American forces will not take unilateral action against President Assad, how does that make you feel? And of course, the people back in Syria, how must they be feeling?
To be perfectly on a personal level, it's devastating. But I also, and I think most people on the ground in Baba Amr realise that it is in fact too late. This is something that should have been discussed 8-9 months ago, not in the last week. People in Baba Amr have said their goodbyes. They've made their peace with the God that they are expecting to die. I'm afraid we're too late once again. The world has stood by, watched it unfold, and now it's back down to last-minute attempts. It should in reality never have been allowed to get to a last-minute attempt. Sadly, it breaks my heart because these people have faced barbarity in the extreme. I think it's too late, even if they were to put people on the ground now, sadly. Okay. But that's my conclusion.
Okay, Paul Conroy, thank you for sharing your thoughts. Paul Conroy, the Sunday Times photographer who was wounded in Syria recently.